All right, welcome back. Chris McGee, Coach Dave Miller, Sam Dower Jr., senior from Gonzaga, and of course, Mark Few, 9 times been the Coach of the Year in the WCC. And Coach, I'm going to start with you. First team to ever go 16-0 in conference. You got the #1 ranking. That was historical. How proud are you of these kids, your staff, and just as the whole program in general?
Oh, unbelievably proud. I mean, that was such a great moment and such a great year. I wish every coach could have the opportunity to coach the type of guys that we've had through the program over this whole run. But last year was just exceptional. I mean, they were great to go to practice with every day, great to travel with. Obviously, coaching them in game situations, they were outstanding in that. But we've done a lot of things in the program. But I mean, when we hit that #1 ranking, and then to earn the #1 seed, which I felt was even harder than the #1 ranking, because you're under a microscope and people are just analyzing the heck out of what you've done. And
well, it's such respect on the national level.
Yeah.
So
it was to be honest with you guys, it was a little overwhelming when it happened. I was surprised what a big deal it was, because we were just #2 the week before, and I was like, but it was good. It was good for these guys, and very proud of them all.
Coach, huge loss in Olynyk and Harris. Who's going to—
And Hart.
Yeah,
and
well,
Hart.
I was going to get to him because I thought he was your defensive stopper.
Yeah.
I mean, Olynyk and Harris, who's going to fill that void initially with this squad?
I mean, we've always lost good players up at Gonzaga. And, I always just try to say, each team's got to take on a new identity, and this team's going to have to take on a definite new identity. For the first time in all the years I've been there, we've lost 2 NBA guys in the same year. We've lost, we've had Austin Day leave one year. Jeremy Pargo eventually became an NBA guy. But, I mean, we had 2 that have just went directly from our program right to the NBA. So that's a considerable loss. But, we've had some good players kind of in the wings. Sam's now gets an extended run. He's played great minutes for us in the past. Shemek Karnowski, our big kid inside, will get extended run inside. They're very different than E and Kelly, but at the same time, we're hoping they can be every bit as effective.
You've had great success with your bigs. I mean, and a lot of it, I think people like to watch the games, but to make it to the next level in the NBA, you earn those stripes at practice. What are you guys doing up there besides the water to develop these guys that are translating well to the next level?
Well, I mean, first of all, it starts with the person that we're bringing into the program and the type of character that those guys possess. I mean, if you look at an Elias Harris, a Kelly Olynyk, Rob Sacre, I mean, tremendously driven individuals and of the highest character, those 3 guys. And also, uniquely gifted. I mean, they got God dealt them a pretty flush hand, with their hands and their ability, especially Kelly and E, for bigger guys to put the ball on the floor and almost play like guards.
I think, Coach, you bring up a great point. Last year when Rob Sacre was getting a lot of run because Dwight wasn't playing in the preseason, the one thing like big game James Worthy and Coach would always recognize was he's the most fundamentally sound. He sets the best screens. He boxes out. He does all the right things. So, Sam, my question to you is, here you are, a senior, playing at one of the best programs in the country. How much fun are you having, and what is this year going to mean to you?
Oh, this year's going to mean a lot to me. This is my last year. I've been playing here, for 4 years, going on 5. And each year, I've had, that role player, role. Played behind 3 NBA guys with Kelly, Rob, and Elias, so I've learned a lot from them. But, yeah, this season will mean a lot to me.
Are you jumping up more in the leadership role? Have you found that? Have you seen that? Who are those guys that are helping you out with that?
Yeah, I've definitely jumped into more of a leadership role, which I wasn't necessarily used to in the past years because I had guys do it. So I didn't really need to. But now I need to this year, it's just because Coach needs me to do it, and that's what would help the team out. But also who stepped up in leadership roles, Kevin Pangos, obviously, and Gary Bell Jr.
Coach, you talked about putting a stamp on each team, and each team has to form their own identity. What are you seeing with the personality of this team? What kind of style are you guys going to have?
Well, hopefully we'll be able to keep the same qualities that all our Gonzaga teams have had. We'll play really smart, we'll play really hard, and we'll play together. This group, you know, the core group is still intact for the most part, you know, other than losing the 2 pro kids and Mike Hart. But, you know, David Stockton is somebody that I think kind of maybe people aren't talking enough about. He's played a lot of minutes and a lot of big minutes.
I feel like he's been there a long time.
Well, he and Sam have been there for 5 years now. This is their 5th year. And just like Sam, I think both, you know, he and David have been in big-time games, you know. I mean, college game days with pressure on the line, or NCAA tournament games or things like that, and had a lot of success. And so, you know, with David and Kevin and Gary, I mean, Kevin and Gary are coming up on 100 games under their belts here pretty soon, you know, as a starting backcourt. You know, I like that group, and I think we'll play very similar to how we played last year, but I think we'll probably shoot the ball a little more from 3 and might even have to run with some smaller lineups too.
Coach, you're one of the most successful college basketball coaches in the history of the game. What keeps you at Gonzaga?
Guys like Sam, guys like Kelly, guys like Elias. You guys get to hang out with Rob.
Yeah, that's fun. We love it.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
It's literally that, getting to coach Kevin Pangos, Gary Bell. And what that allows me is I get to be around great guys, but I'm not sacrificing any. We were the #1 team in the country last year, you know, and so we get to play and compete at the highest level, but I get to do it with great guys, you know, and we have an incredible fan base, an incredible following up there, and you know, it's what really works for me.
Well, Sam, you're from Minnesota. How did you end up at Gonzaga?
Well, I came over here on my official visit here with my family, and I got to hang out with the guys and stuff like that. I also went on a couple other visits to a couple other schools still before Gonzaga, but I came here and I just loved everything about it. The thing that stood out to me the most that made me come here is just the team atmosphere. The guys were, you know, the togetherness of the team, because, you know, I knew that I would have to be for those guys for at least 4 years. So I don't want to go to a team where where none of the teammates hang out with each other, don't talk to each other other for basketball. Here, on the other hand, you know, guys hang out all the time, go to get dinner with each other, and it's just like a brotherhood rather than a team. And I think that shows also on the court how that connection that we have on the court.
First of all, that's a great answer.
No doubt.
And
That's a fifth-year senior.
Yeah, that's a 5th-year senior. And Coach, I think that's the way the WCC. I mean, you talk to a lot of these coaches. You guys are all still there. You all return. You get these kids that stay 4 years. It really is a family. I mean, and that's what college athletics is.
Wish we would have had them all stay.
That's what college athletics is about.
You know what? And I'd like to throw this in, and I hope I'm accurate on this. I think this may be the only conference in the country that returned all their head coaches. I mean, that's a big thing in terms of there's so much change and there's so much win now. I like the family atmosphere, and you have presidents and ADs that believe in the systems. And really, I think that might be something of what keeps you guys in this league, whether than venturing out in greener pastures.
Yeah, I know that's an interesting stat. I mean, that's true. I think it might be the only conference. I mean, you know, the tenure of college coaches is getting shorter and shorter as we go, the average tenure. So it's pretty rare. I think you know, the schools still value, you know, the whole process, the education process, and not just the win at all costs attitude. But again, you know, you talk about greener pastures. I mean, I don't think there are. I don't know if there are greener pastures outside of GU when you look at the teams and the players and the guys that we've been able to. You know, I mean, you never know, but I can just only speak from you know, my experiences, and it's been a fun run.
Yeah, you mentioned game day. You know, a lot of campuses it's when the football team's playing, but for you guys, it's when the basketball team's playing. So that's really cool. Hey, a friend of ours is Adam Morrison. I want to ask you both how he's doing. I'll start with you, Coach. He's on staff.
You know what? I think Adam's probably in as good a place as he's been since that phenomenal run he had his junior year, where he's leading the country in scoring and gosh, I think we were ranked in the top 5 that year too. So I think he's back to that place where he's comfortable, he's confident. He's really doing a nice job for us. which has kind of been a pleasant surprise. I wasn't quite sure how Adam, the coach, would be, but I don't think you guys would recognize him. The hair's shorter and the.
I was going to ask, did he have to cut his hair?
I didn't tell him, but he just showed up. Hey, I'll give you a funny story. Driving into work one day, dropped my kids off at school, at 8:20 and pulling in, and there's a big 6'7" guy hiking across with his backpack on, going to class on the first day of school. And I'm like, good Lord, that's Adam. And I wish it was that easy back in the day when we were coaching him. But no, he's doing great.
You enjoying him, Sam?
Oh yeah, I definitely enjoy him because he played here. He knows what he played at the highest level with Mason Bay. Was one of the best college athletes ever to me, and just to have him there watching us and practice, not practicing us, but like watching our practice and giving us feedbacks on things we can work on to make this team successful, because he knows it. And we don't have just like coaches always talk to us and stuff like that, but we'd rather hear it from somebody like Adam Morris and a guy like that. Instead of coaches yelling at us all the time,
If you had to make a gentleman's bet, is there any player on this current roster that could beat Adam in a shooting contest?
No. Adam can still shoot better than
He could light up.
Still, I don't know how he does it. He's still
every Laker practice I ever went to, he lit guys up. There's never any argument.
It's a shame he's still not playing. I was talking to an NBA exec yesterday who was at our practice, and I was like, I can't believe for 5 minutes, put him in. If he's hot, he's hot. And if he's hot,
can light it up.
You're not stopping him. If he's not, then sit him.
By the way, we loved having you guys here. Thanks for making the trip to LA, and we love watching you guys and doing all the highlights. It's a lot of fun for Coach and I. So thanks. Class act. You guys do it the right way. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Coach.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming.